All right, now, last night, Bernie was watching The Factor, as he always does, because we force him to do so. There's actually an alarm. If he doesn't, it goes off in New York, and we know. So Jackie Mason uses a Yiddish term to describe President Obama. Roll the tape.
I heard that you called Barack Obama a Schwarzer. Is that anything you want to comment about?
I'm not answering these stupid questions because you're trying to multiply me into a racist. But you only ask white people.
I'm not.
White people have no freedom of speech. I'm telling you, you, and that's it.
All right. So what did you think when you saw that?
Well, first, to the extent that anybody besides TMZ is interested in this, let me speak with some expertise here. The word schwarzer is not a bad word. Absolutely not a bad word. It simply means a black person, okay? That's number one. But there are two groups that want to take advantage of this word. One is the group that sees itself as victims and derives its power from victims. If you're in that group, this is a good thing. And the second group are white liberals, because white liberals hear that word and they go nuts, including Jewish white liberals. Look, here's why there may be a negative connotation to the word. In the old days, when these immigrants came over from Eastern Europe, they spoke some English, they spoke some Yiddish. They used the word schwarzer, but in those days, America was a racist country, and any reference to black people, whether you call them African Americans, black, Negroes, or schwarzers, the reference was likely to be negative. It isn't the word that's negative.
All right, but here's what the dictionary says.
It's used by older people.
The dictionary says that word, S-H-V-A-R-T-Z-E, often disparaging and offensive. A black person.
You know what? Well, forgive my arrogance. The dictionary is written by some liberal person. It is not. It just means black people.
Okay.
Listen,
now I got
Spanish,
some mail on it from Jewish people, and it's divided.
I'm in Miami. Hold on. I'm in Miami, Bill. You know how you say black people in Miami? Negros. That sounds like Negroes. Are we going to get crazy over that?
No, that's a Spanish. That's the Spanish like that. All right, look, I'm not getting crazy over anything. It was interesting what happened there.
I don't mean you. I'm saying, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about those who get crazy over the word schwarzer are entirely too sensitive. They don't know what it means. But liberals are concerned about that because, you know, it's not saying African American.
We're living in a society where if anything is uttered about any minority group, Media Matters or somebody else will say you're a racist. That's what they do.
Exactly.
That's what they do.
That's an important point.
Okay. I was surprised that ABC News. Now, we didn't do this. NBC, CNN, CBS didn't do it. ABC News sends a guy up to Alaska. You know, it costs a lot of money, and you know what's going on now in the media. You can't even buy a peanuts when you come to town. Okay, so they send somebody up to Alaska with a crew to ambush Levi Johnston, the fiancé of Sarah Palin's daughter. Roll the tape.
I'm Neil Karlinski. How are you, Levi? We found Levi Johnston at home in an out-of-the-way neighborhood in rural Wasilla, Alaska. The 19-year-old, whose engagement to Bristol Palin was for a time at the center of a presidential election, confirmed that the couple is indeed on the rocks.
The engagement is off?
The engagement's off, yeah.
And whose idea was that?
It was both of ours. It's just us not being mature enough or something, and having a kid and think it'd be better for us to just separate for a while.
Now, it's an interesting human interest story. I mean, we covered it, this and that, but you send a crew up there to get the kid in his truck? I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's embarrassing is what I think. Once again, ABC News is trying to emulate People magazine. You know, a few years ago, they did an entire hour in prime time, ABC News, an hour in prime time on Britney Spears. Why do they do it? They do it because there's an audience for this kind of stuff. It diminishes ABC News. It makes them small. Charlie Gibson would never do something like this. It was on the morning show. But you know what? As long as we're going to criticize ABC News for going low like this, what about the audience? What about the American people who find this stuff interesting?
Okay, but I have to say,
this is not important. It's simply not important.
I think ABC News does the best job of the network news right now. I just want to get that on the record.
Bernie, so do I. But
I got to
But
run.
this isn't a good example of it.
No, it's not.